All right, hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast.
Pew, pew, pew,
I
pew,
am
pew,
your
pew,
co-host
pew,
Juan
pew,
Martinez,
pew, pew, pew,
and to
pew.
my left or to my right, you can catch him at Top Golf in Las Vegas this weekend performing his hit single, 18 Under Bar. It's Jacques Sling!
Oh, I love the pun. What up, everybody? Welcome to the show. The Vegas show has been canceled. I have to let people know the Vegas show has been canceled. And it will now be live from California, LA, California. Not at the Top Golf, though. It'll be at the par 3, the putt-putt. Sorry, not even the par 3, the par in Sherman Oaks, if it's still open. Otherwise, I'll be doing the show live from the sidewalk in front of the putt-putt. Tough time.
So for those
things have changed.
Did not check out Jacques' Instagram, or was it Instagram or TikTok? I forget which one. Jacques laid down some bars, and it was quite a couple
of rap bars.
Yeah. It was kind of a surprise, really, to especially a lot of your old friends. They were like, "Oh, I missed this Jacques." I saw Jazzy put up there, "Oh, I missed this old Jacques," and I'm like, "We all do." Where's this Jacques been? It has been a minute since Jacques has laid down some bars on the internet.
True.
So we were like, "Oh, there we go. We got the old Jacques back, man. We missed the old Jacques."
That's
so,
true.
you know,
For a little bit, just for 12 bars.
What kind of inspired that, though, man?
So there's these guys on Instagram called Bev Boys Golf, and they started like this trend of like bad golfers doing a verse about how bad they are at golf. And so he did it, and then a couple other people I know did it, and I was like, you know what? I might as well. And I was like, let me just give it a go. I obviously hadn't done a rap thing in a long time, so it was rough to get it right. But it fell into okay place. Listening to it now, I'm like, oh, okay, I could have did a lot of it better, but it was okay, and it was pretty well received. Got some good comments about it.
It was.
I don't know if people just blowing smoke up my ass or if they really thought it was good.
No.
Because it could very well be people were like, oh, he rapped. That's cool. He rapped. That's a cool thing. That's a cool thing that he's doing, as opposed to being like, oh, that was nice. You know what I mean? Those are two different things. Those are two different sentiments.
Of course. I mean, you gotta be. I mean, you're out of practice, I guess. Like, maybe you do it. Maybe you do it like in the comfort of your own home with no one watching or anything like that. You show it to the family, and they're like, go do your sneaker thing. But
yeah, right. Yeah. I don't even rap at home. I don't even rap really a lot anymore, which is sad. But it's just a muscle I need to work again. Like it's a muscle that's gotten out of shape. But I feel like I could get into it and really, if I wanted to, put something really nice together. But I don't know if that's where I am in my life right now.
So we haven't recorded a pod in a while. We actually did we did it before Thanksgiving. So it's actually
before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So
and that just came out this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. So that's how the recording of everything goes. So, but how was your Thanksgiving? How was everything really? Like, for the past week and a half, really, since we last recorded one of these.
Thanksgiving is always good because I get to be around my family, so that's always good for me. But then I also get to eat a lot and then eat again. So it was fantastic. Didn't do any shopping or anything like that for like Black Friday or Cyber Monday or any of those shopping days. I didn't really do any shopping.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was good. Just regular old days, just having some fun with the family. We all spent together was with the family on Wednesday night, Thursday. So I had like 2 days with the family, which is always cool.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for my Thanksgiving, same. Family comes over, kind of do the food thing and all that stuff. We're not big on the turkey. I don't know if that's like a Filipino thing where we're just like not so much on the turkey. But we did have like a turkey, like a slab of a turkey breast, but not like a whole turkey.
Not a whole turkey. Okay.
Nah, nothing like that. Yeah, no, mostly like Filipino food and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, you mentioned the Black Friday and not doing any of the shopping thing. I was at Target like on Black Friday morning just to pick up stuff. Not even to like just go shopping or anything like that. Just have to go like get something there. And I noticed it was just like a regular day. Like I don't even know if like Black Friday is even a thing anymore. Like, people do
Yeah,
like the online shopping stuff, but like
yeah,
I was there and I, got the thing that I needed to, for a run an errand and stuff, and it was just like a regular day. I was like, oh, I thought there would at least be
yeah.
like a
Like,
decent amount of people to like, just pick up whatever. Like, there, because they had like the stuff. They had like Black Friday sale signs on like certain
yeah,
things, but it wasn't what it was in the past. And, I guess that's a lot of factors, economy, blah, 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 blah. People like to do their shopping online, but I figured there'd still be a little bit of like action, but that didn't seem to be the case anymore, man.
yeah. I think a lot of it has to do is because all the sales, everything happens like the day after Halloween. They're like Black Friday sale. You're like, wait, what? It's not. It's a month away. But everything is so early now. Like the full, like my email was full of Black Friday sales, like from at least 2 weeks before Black Friday.
Right, right.
So it's like there's almost like no energy to like. There's no reason to wait till Black Friday to go shopping because everybody's putting
Mhm.
everything on sale a week or 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks before Black
Yeah.
Friday comes, which is it's like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of the day. Even like so Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and then Cyber Monday, like all of
Hmm.
those days, it was like I can get, there were a couple things that I saw that was like, oh, okay, this is actually a Black Friday sale,
Yeah.
or Small Business Saturday sale. But outside of that, it was just like everything else is just on sale, just like everything else. So there's no
Yeah.
need to go out on Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you remember like the last? Oh, let's keep it on the sneaker side of things. Like, do you remember the last time like we actually had to do anything huge for like a Black Friday sneaker thing? Because the last time I
No.
distinctly remember was like, I think it was the Jordan 5 Oreo. I think that's what that was. It was, I forget what year it was, like 2012, 2013, and I had to get a pair for one of my nephews. And I remember actually going to like different malls. I was like, oh gosh, can I even get a pair of these just to like, buy for my nephew? And I don't remember if I got it or not, but I do remember just going to like different malls and it being like still packed. Like people are still going around just finding,
Mm-hmm.
buying whatever. And it's just a huge change from like what it is now. Like even on the sneaker side,
Yeah.
there wasn't any like huge like Black Friday, unless I mistaken. I don't think there was like a huge Black Friday retro, was there? I don't even think there
Yeah, there was
was.
no big like earth-shattering drop. There's usually something really
Yeah,
big that happens on Black Friday.
yeah,
Um, but there wasn't anything this year that I think grabbed people's attention.
yeah. It's like things are changing, and it's fine. Like I
Yeah,
personally
it's
haven't
fine.
gone to like I haven't been to like those stores anyway for like a Black Friday in a long time. Even for that sneaker
Yeah.
thing, that was like a one off. But even before then, I was like, oh, let's check out what's sale. What's the sale online? What's the sale on like Cyber Monday or whatever? But yeah, things are changing. And moving on to the show, let's talk about something that I think is actually going to change in the Jordan retro world. So, this coming week, uh, the release of the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. It used to
Yeah.
be called the Columbia, and I guess this is the designated holiday Air Jordan 11 release because we have
Yep.
that every year. There's always a big deal, big name Air Jordan 11 that's dropping. And I gotta say, Jacques, I personally, I've never been the biggest fan of the Jordan 11 Columbia or Legend Blue, just because it seemed like it's the easiest to get dirty. It's like it goes
That's
from
true.
like
That
the
is true.
freshest Air Jordan to like the most like I don't think I want to wear these outside anymore because like the
Yeah.
the sole is yellowed, the patent leather looks bad. It's just it's just so easily damaged, degraded, like out of all of the original Air Jordans, and
Yeah.
combine that with like the malaise that Jordan's retros are just going through right now. Like I have a feeling that this is going to be like the first Jordan 11 holiday in a long time, or if it's ever even happened, that's just going to sit in stores. Because I don't know, I had this idea because what was it, like was it a week or two ago? I was at the mall and I saw the black cement threes just sitting in the shelf, and I thought to myself, whoa, I have never I didn't think I'd ever see that day. Like the black
Yeah.
cement threes, arguably the greatest Jordan ever made. I would make that argument. And I was like, oh, it's just here, like on a Foot Locker, just sitting along with like some other Jordan retros. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm just gonna go get a pair right now. But it's just
Yeah.
something I did not expect. And if a Black Cement 3 can sit, anything can sit. So I feel like we're kind of at that point now. And, yeah, I guess it's the big deal Air Jordan 11. It's the holiday one. It's the Legend Blue. It's an OG colorway, quote unquote. But I just don't think, I think we're kind of over it now.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I've been obviously thinking about this a lot, just like most people have that are within the sneaker community, and it's almost like this is where sneakers kind of needs to go to filter out the ickiness of the sneaker world and how it's been for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
This like the fact that a Black Cement 3 is on a wall in a Foot Locker store is super cool to me. Like that's going back in the days when you could find a retro on the store shelves and it wasn't picked up right away. It's almost like we always talk about how like reselling has always been a part of the sneaker world. Even back in the day, it was part of the sneaker world before like the hype of the last 10 to 15 years. But it wasn't always for new shoes. It was for like collectible shoes, I guess, so to speak, stuff that had already released and you were trying to chase it kind of thing. Whereas today, a lot of people look for the first the new thing is what's hot and what's selling kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going back to the old school way of the sneaker world where you have to like everything's not going to be hot just because it's releasing or just because
Right.
Jordan Brand put it out. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that doesn't mean that it's the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's things that have a real deep story around them and that have like a meaningful connection to the community. For me, the Legend Blue was never at the top of my Jordan 11 list.
Yeah.
So I I hesitate to speak on this release because I know I already have a bias that I probably wouldn't have picked these up regardless of where we were in the market. Maybe just to do an unboxing, but it's not something that I would actively have in my collection or want to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have Cool Grades, I have Breads, I have Space Jams, like I have those pairs, but I don't know that I want an a Legend Blue right away. It'd be great to have to add to the collection, but I can almost promise that I doubt I would wear it anytime soon. It would have to be some sort of special all white with hints of blue situation kind of thing.
Right. And the thing with Jordan 11s too is like I feel like I've kind of exhausted my like enthusiasm for it. Like I think I've gotten to a point where I have the ones that I have and I'm kind of good. And I think what I have right now I think is a pair of Space Jams, a pair of the Jubilees, the was it the Gratitudes, which is basically the Concours but just has a gold jump band on it. And I think I might have a bread somewhere. I think I have breads here somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure if I do. And I feel like I'm exhausted. I've kind of gotten over it. Like I actually don't think I need any funky colorways of the Jordan 11. Like I think I'm satisfied with either mostly black pair of Jordan 11s or a black and white pair of Jordan 11s, and I think I'm good. Like there's something about the Jordan 11 that speaks to me, and like this is the only way it should look like. And then when I see it, like like when you see it, and I think I was different, like during like the heydays of the blog era when they were like coming out with like snakeskin and like suede, and they still do it. Or like there was like the lows with like the gold patent leather. But I think I've kind of gotten over it. Like I like Jordan 11s one particular way. And I don't think I need to see anything else. And I don't know if like other people are kind of feeling that way. Maybe they do want to see like, Jordan Brand take different chances with the Jordan 11, but I feel like most people are kind of satisfied in a way, and that's kind of part of the malaise. And to a certain degree it's cool. Like if you're a fan of the Columbia Legend Blue Jordan 11s, this is probably the easiest time you're ever going to be able to buy a pair. And that's awesome. And I'm actually happy for those who are fans of that. It's just that I'm not.
Yeah,
and
same.
it's
I
okay,
think it's
and
a
it's
good
okay.
time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Legend Blue or Columbia Air Jordan aficionado because
yeah.
they're I again I don't want to state my bias, but I feel like they're going to be sitting on shelves, which is good. Ultimately good. I think so it'll be perceived as bad, but I think it's ultimately good for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, you said like you had that bias, and I actually looked this up. I was looking at like different lists of what are the greatest Jordan 11s of all time, and I noticed that the Legend Blue is always like on the bottom of like most people's lists of like the OGs, because
Yeah.
like typically the list is like some combination of Concords, Bread, Space Jams, Cool Grays, or Legend Blues, but I
Yep.
never see Legend Blue above three. Like it's always either the fourth or the fifth. And it's like, huh. So we kind of have like this feeling of, because I've seen Cool Grace be number two. I've seen Space Jams be number one, but I never see the Legend Blue or the Columbia be higher than four. So I think we're not in the minority when it comes to that opinion. I think when you break it down to like the original colorways of the Jordan 11, I think most people would actually place that one lowest on the hierarchy. And
Yeah.
so this could be it. This could be like that slow year. This could be that year where we see. I don't think it's gonna be there forever. Like I think it might be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like till the end of the year. I don't think you're gonna have a
Yeah.
problem buying a pair of Legend Blues. You might not, but if you wanna like hold out until like the start of the new year, it's probably get a little bit tougher. But yeah, if you're a fan of Legend Blue, this is your time, and I am happy for you.
I wonder. Like you said that the Space Jams were ranked number one.
I saw a list. I forget if it
You
was
saw this
nine.
over the Concords. Maybe
Yeah,
that okay. We should make that our make that the Mount Rushmore tonight. I mean, for the at the end of the episode, because that I was like, wait, what? Space Jams over the Concords? Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
That deserves a
That's a
discussion.
take.
That deserves
That's a
a
take. That's certainly
that's
a
a
take.
but yeah, I mean, it's a great time for sneakers if you love sneakers, especially if you love the Jordan 11. And I think like you, I've got a little Jordan 11 fatigue. I think there's just Jordan in general fatigue. The mystique, it's almost like the mystique. No, I was gonna say the mystique of Michael Jordan has kind of gone away, but I don't know if that's the case. I just think it's oversaturated at the moment.
I think some for a generation below us, like maybe even two generations, like not even like the Gen Zers, but like the generation below the Gen Zers. I don't even know if they know who Michael Jordan is, or they think of like Michael Jordan as that old guy who has like the shoes. Like they have like
Yeah,
zero reverence, zero whatever. He's just like, oh, he's the guy that we buy the shoes from. Like there's not even any reference point. Like you could be like, hey kid, watch these videos, but they're like, why would I watch that? Why would I watch
yeah,
this old thing? So I think we're starting to get to that point, which I think is actually kind of neat. It's like we've kind of gotten to this point where Jordan is just like a symbol, a thing, like a Ralph Lauren or
hmm
like a
yeah,
Lacoste or like
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's a shame that, a little part of us is like, oh man, like Michael Jordan isn't as relevant as he used to be. But the Jumpman's gonna live on. Like I think that, and I think that's kind of cool for our generation to see like one of our like heroes, one of our icons
continue to be like
be
a
continue to
beacon
be
of light,
relevant.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
I think
So
Jordan will continue to be relevant, but I think the generations that are coming up care less and less about him, and so there's no
yeah, him.
point. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be a point where it's just going to be like just like the die-hard sneakerheads in the next generation that know who he is or care about what he did.
Yeah, yeah. So like, decades from now, centuries from now, like the Jumpman will live on. And yeah, I don't really necessarily have a problem with that because eventually like everything gets lost to time at some point.
Yep.
Like and it's okay. It's totally fine. I like how we got like existential there for a second, but
Yeah, because time is undefeated. Yeah.
Father Time, man, yeah, man, ain't nobody beating no Father Time. Speaking of Father Time, though, Jacques, let's transition into the next segment. Someone who's also dealing with Father Time, Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods,
He
y'all.
Tiger Woods, y'all. I remember that Chris Rock bit. Um, he just did a press conference, right, talking about like how he's not going to be able to play for a little bit. He's still working on what is this, like his sixth back surgery or something, where it's going to be a minute
Uh,
before we even think about like getting him back on the course or whatever. So
yeah,
he said
makes me
something like
sad.
that. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But let's talk about Sunday Red and the Pioneer
Yes,
Cypress. You
the
were able
Pioneer
to
Cypress.
you did an unboxing. You did a
Yes, I did an
video.
unboxing. I did a social video for them, and I did a full like YouTube unboxing on them as well.
Yes. So go check that out on Jacques' channels. But
Yes.
I gotta ask, what do you think about the Pioneer Cypress beyond like what you've already talked about? Like, have you had a chance to play with them? Have you had a chance to like get them through their paces?
Yes,
Um.
I did a lot of walking around in them yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did nine holes yesterday, and it's a good shoe. Like you can feel the ground. That's something that the designers were talking about. And I try to go when I do like these reviews like this for product. I try to go and experience the shoe as the designer describes it. Like, oh, it's going
Mm.
to be this. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel that. And I don't know if this is like a placebo effect or I'm just doing it because this is what they told me. But I try to feel all the things from a basketball shoe to a running shoe to obviously golf shoes.
Right.
And like I walked, yes, so I got through the round in them without my feet hurting, which is obviously a good sign.
Always a plus.
They come with two insoles, a regular one and a massage insole, which has like these bumps on top of it. So I
Okay.
wore the massage insoles because I felt like that's what people would be most interested in, the massage ones. And
Yeah.
you do feel it the entire round that there's a different kind of insole in there. It almost, and I described this like this in my unboxing, but it feels like there's sand in your shoe, but in a good way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense, but you kind of have to feel it to experience it to be like, oh, okay, I get it. It's weird, but it feels like it gives you a lot more like ground perception
Mm-hmm.
because of these bumps. So
Mm-hmm.
you're a little more tuned in to what's happening with your feet, and
Uh-huh.
so I would say in that regard, they exceeded my expectations. The leather looks great. I wish regular like sneakers had the kind of leather that they have on there. It's nice. It's soft. Feels durable. Feels like it's not going to be ruined one time in the rain or something like that. It feels
Mm-hmm.
really really great. Ankle heel collars padded very nicely. Um, looks cool. The ankles are cut. It feels like a low cut golf shoe or a low cut
Uh-huh.
dress shoe as dressed as a golf shoe. But they're nice. I made it through the whole nine. I would love to give them a full 18, so I just walked the nine. Would love to give them a full 18 to see what that feels like. See if there's any like any hot spots or anything like that. But for the most part, they feel good, and I've heard a lot of talk too since we're talking about it, about the $250 price point. Um, you know, sorry to burst everyone's bubble, but most golf shoes are expensive. One,
High-end golf
like
shoes are that price, yeah.
high end golf shoes are that price. Like Jordan golf shoes start at $220 for like threes and fours.
Yeah.
So this is $30 more than that, but it is a traditional performance focused golf shoe that meets the need of the greatest golfer ever. So
Right.
it's hard to to fight that and be like, well, blah blah blah. Blah. No, it's like if Tiger approves, then you guys should be happy. And this was literally designed the ground up based on Tiger's request. So
And,
it's a good shoe. It's a good shoe, and it's at the price point that you would expect for this type of golf shoe.
and the reality of it is that's what golf shoes are priced at when we're looking at like the top of the line from the FootJoys and from like the
Yep.
Echoes and all of that. Like that's to be
Yep.
expected. I wasn't expecting Tiger to drop a $100 golf shoe, that's for sure. And when I heard, well, you just said it, like these are per Tiger's request, and I 100% agree. When I think about Tiger Woods' style and what he looks for in a golf shoe, that is unequivocally a Tiger Woods shoe. There's
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's not the Nike TW13. I know we had our moments of excitement when we first saw those,
Yeah.
but I felt that was Nike Golf kind of telling Tiger, like nudging him a little bit, like, hey, can you do one for us? Can you do us a solid? Can we switch things up? Can we change the formula up a little bit? And we got that with the TW13 to 14 to 15. And then we started going back towards the end of his run with Nike to something more traditional. Like, I think, what is it, the
Yeah.
Air Zoom TW, the one that Scotty Scheffler wears? That's more in line with what Tiger's sensibilities are.
Yeah.
And if anybody was looking for anything else, I'm sorry to say, like, Tiger's not that dude. He has never been, and he will never will be. You know what I'm saying?
I was like looking at some of the comments, and I was legitimately surprised by how many people had a take about the price point. Like, I mean, like what kind of golf? I mean, I don't want to be insulting, but it's very interesting to see how they're like kind of trying to tarnish it. It's almost like I think they want Tiger to be Shaq. You know what I mean, and go
Okay.
that low cost route.
Okay.
But I think Tiger is more Kobe if Kobe was still alive and how he wanted to start his own brand.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was no question that Kobe shoes would have been priced very highly.
Yeah, it's about that bleeding edge. Kobe was always
Yeah.
about that, like pushing the limits of what was possible at the time. Oh, flying in on a basketball shoe, let's do that. Low cut, let's do that. Like it's always about pushing the limits with him. And Tiger is the same way, but also he's not. I would not say he was as daring as Kobe was. Like Tiger has a definitely like an aesthetic when we're thinking about the red
Yes.
and black, when we're thinking about the hats, when we're thinking about just the general attire, Tiger doesn't necessarily ever stray from that. And when I
No.
look at that shoe, that's like I said, that's a Tiger Woods shoe, man. Like I was not shocked at all. And I think maybe what people's expectations were when he left Nike was like, oh, now we're going to see what Tiger was really all about. When really, we've known what Tiger's all been all about ever since he, burst onto the scene. Like he's
Yep.
got a look, he's got a style, and it was never going to change. And people who were surprised by that, like the price point, especially Tiger Woods is a premium guy. Like remember the famous Kevin Durant thing? Like, I'm not an $88 sneaker guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods is a what $250 golf shoe guy.
Is a
Like
$250 golf shoe guy. That's a good call.
and don't get that mistaken. And maybe we get to a point like further down the line. Let's see how Sunday Red performs. Maybe we get a budget shoe at some point. But no, we are not there yet. Like we are a ways away. This is the intro. This is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is
It's
getting
the very
everybody
first one. Yeah.
setting everybody's expectations. And depending on how it does, maybe we get to that point. I just don't think it's going to be like that for a long time.
Yeah, the only beef I have is there's some special edition versions that they're going to release.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those ones, I don't know if you saw the ones with the like speckles on the heel,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like like those are going to be the special edition versions, and those are going to be 275, and they're going to be limited, and they're going to be limited. And I was just, and like the only difference from what I could tell was that they had speckles, kind of like there was a color story. So that's the one part I'm like, all right, guys, you didn't have to like. There's nothing about this that justifies the $25 price point outside of the fact that you guys are making it limited for the sake of making it limited. I would have rather it been some sort of collab with someone or something along those lines to justify that pricing. But yeah, that's my only beef. Otherwise, it's a Tiger, it's a golf shoe, it's a traditional saddle style. Um, the traction works really well, almost too good. Um, the the full length plate is nice at the bottom, so you have full ground traction throughout the entire swing. But yeah, outside of that, it's what I would expect in a golf shoe. Nothing makes it stand out terribly, and nothing is like, oh, this is terrible kind of thing.
Right. I mean, it's just it's par for what we expected from Tiger. Now you brought
Yes.
up a thing with the collab part. I don't know. I cannot in my mind. I cannot picture who Tiger would collab with. Like I cannot in my mind picture like him collabing with like I don't want to say Malbon, but this is the easiest thing to say, right? Like I can't picture him collabing with Malbon. I can't picture him collabing with Eastside Golf. I can't picture him collabing with Boogie Boys or any of those other brands, right? Like if anything, if I were to like expect like a Tiger Woods collab golf shoe, it'd be like Cadillac or like American Express or like some high end corporate sponsor, that kind of collab. That's what I would expect from a Sunday Red collaboration. So I'm curious to see like what would be like a possible Sunday Red collab because I just can't see it. Like I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I actually want to see like him collab with like a young up and coming like smaller brand and like get them that exposure that brand possibly needs. But if it's like Tiger though, I'm expecting like just the most milk toast like super corporate possible collaboration. We're gonna be like, oh, so it's an American Express Sunday Red shoe, so it's got blue speckles on it or whatever.
I think the collabs are definitely like a Tiger partner collab kind of thing.
Yeah.
That which does limit the scope of it, but hopefully down the line, maybe they can do something with Kith. Maybe they can do something with Undefeated. Maybe they can do something with Union. Maybe they can do something with Bodega. Like I would love for them to explore those worlds.
Yeah.
And let them just kind of go crazy with the shoe and see what comes of it. Maybe even they do them with Golf Galaxy and PGA Superstore, but it's just got to be done right and tell the appropriate story. But I think the opportunity, like you said, I would love to see it, and I imagine we'll see that in the future. They didn't share that with me when I talked to the team over at Sunday Red.
Right.
But I can see Summer being like, okay, we've kind of established ourselves. Let's get wild.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is that we're waiting for the inevitable Rolex Sunday Red collaboration that's going to cost like $1,000.
Easy.
And that'll be the cheapest Rolex you'll ever get.
Yeah, and they'll do something small like put green on the midsole or something like that because it still needs to be tasteful for the course.
Exactly.
I can definitely see that
like little bits of green and gold on the on the laces or something like that. Yeah. It's not gonna say like Rolex. It's not gonna say Rolex on the heel like a Supreme or something like that. It's not gonna be that.
No. No giant Rolex across. Yeah, no. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna.
No.
Tiger ain't gonna do that. Also, something I learned.
Oh, okay.
I learned about Tiger is that he doesn't want any distractions on his shoes. So even though those shoes have the speckles, they don't go past, I think it's the midfoot, so that when Tiger looks down to putt, he doesn't see speckles.
Interesting. So it really will limit any possible collaboration at some point. Like if you expect
if he's going to wear them on course.
I would like to think that he would though. Like I would like to think that if he's going to try to promote like the first ever Sunday Red collaboration with let's use Kith as an example, right? Like Kith is more about the colors more than they are like, funky patterns or like anything like that. Like, could you imagine like a Kith Sunday Red where it's like a salmon color or something like that, and Tiger's looking down and he's like, "What the hell am I looking at?" Like, I don't know. Like Ronnie's like, "Hey, what do we do? Hey, we wanted to switch things up a little bit." Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would have to be a full Sunday Red collection kind of thing. Couldn't just be the shoes. It'd have to be a full Sunday Red Kith collection from polos to sweaters to pants, the whole thing. And then I could technically see Tiger doing it, like a Tiger Kith or Sunday Red.
That would be really classy. I think like they could pull something off like that. Yeah.
That would be crazy. The internet would go crazy over something like that.
Yeah, and it'll be priced at $500, and you guys aren't going to be able to say nothing about it.
I'll never be able to own one. I'll never be able to own one.
Well, that's when we hit up Ronnie and be like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you know him or not,
bro.
But
Yeah, I don't know if you know me. I've seen you in the airport a couple times."
I think I've seen him at like an event once, and I was like, I don't think we ever had a chance to meet, but yeah, it's one of those like, "Oh, hey, that's Ronnie Fike." But
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right. So that's that for the Sunday rid of it all. But moving on to something that's I want to wrap my head around it because I'm not super into the whole thing of it, like everything that's going on. So let's talk about Drake. He
Mm-hmm.
sued Universal Music Group
Yes.
because he thinks that because they're under the same label, right? I mean, they're under the same group, right? Like Kendrick and Drake
Yeah,
are
they're
under
under
the
the
same
same
label.
label. Yeah.
So Drake is suing Universal because they are doing like pay to play. Like he's alleging that they're doing
Supposedly.
supposedly they're
Allegedly.
doing pay to play to kind of boost Kendrick's numbers up in an attempt to kind of get at Drake for reasons, even though they're under the same
Yes.
banner. And
Yes.
I don't understand why Drake is going this route. Like, because like I'm not the most well versed in the Drake of it all, to be quite honest. Like, I don't really know a lot of Drakes. I think we've talked about this like on one of our like old podcasts, like when we were like trying to get the like start this show and everything. Like, I don't have a lot of like awareness of like what Drake is to the culture or anything like that. Like when we go to like events, when when we go to the clubs or I've been out on a date or something, like I hear the Drake songs and I'm like, oh, cool, no big deal to me. I'm not. It's not. He just does not. Yeah, no. You know what? That is actually the face that I make. I'm like, yeah, no. Like for people who are watching for people who are listening to the audio, we just did like a thumbs up, like, hey, kind of like, yeah. Like Drake has never resonated to me in any way except for one song. It's Hotline Bling, but it's not the Hotline Bling version that you think it is. It is the version of Hotline Bling where the background, the music is to the Wii Shop music channel. It's the like the
Oh.
Nintendo Wii. So like back in the days, like in the Nintendo Wii, when you go to like the eShop, it had like this nice like elevator music, which was very like cheery and upbeat, and they
Yeah.
remixed that to Hotline Bling, and I'm like, I to this day I have no idea what Hotline Bling actually sounds like, but I know what the remix is with the Wii Shop music. So that's the only Drake song that I'm even remotely familiar with. I just hear from like, everybody that I know, like, or just what I read on the internet is like everybody has jokes about Drake or he's either the
Yes.
greatest thing ever. Like I know him more for like his collabs with Nike, the Nocta stuff, the OVO stuff with Jordan Brand that I do for like his actual music. And then when
Yeah.
like Kendrick came in and started like doing everything from Euphoria to Meet the Grams to like I was like, well, okay. Like I guess people don't really like Drake. And then I like, I've heard all of the other people in the community who have started coming after Drake, like Rick Ross and all of those guys have started coming after Drake. And I'm like,
Yep.
what?
Oh.
Why? Why do people not like Drake?
I
Oh,
mean, it's a
yeah.
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So let's like clarify first. Drake didn't sue yet. He took legal action,
Oh, yeah.
which
Okay, okay.
it's
Mm-hmm.
essentially like a filing to say that they may file a suit. And
Mm-hmm.
really, it's almost like a scare tactic to not a scare tactic, but a tactic to get Universal to. I think they're going to have to start putting together information about
Mm-hmm.
all of this because Drake just feels that Universal turned against him and was helping Kendrick blow up
Mm-hmm.
against him in a sense, and that's how he was getting all these plays, and that's why people were paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that that wasn't the case. Like it did well organically, and
Yeah.
more than someone having to pay to put it in front of you. I think it was just the right moment, the right song, the right artist with the right message,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what changed the dynamic of things. People are getting on Drake's case about suing or taking legal action just because, again, this was a rap beef. And for you to step outside of the culture for a perceived slight, this is like everything Kendrick's been talking about when he says you're not a part of the culture, people don't respect you, and this and that. Here he goes filing a legal action that just makes it like, oh, okay, Kendrick is that guy. Drake is that guy. So I just, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I want to like I get it on like on Drake's hand if it's really happening. Like that sucks.
Sure,
That's
sure,
terrible for them to
sure.
orchestrate the beef for I guess orchestrate the
To
beef
pick a side,
for
I
Kendrick.
guess.
Yeah, to pick a side in a sense.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that part sucks. Yes. But if that's not happening and then Drake took all this made all of this mess in a sense, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to make it even harder for him to come back into the spotlight cuz he released a like I don't want to call it a mixtape, but like a collection of songs and videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't have any legs. He did a music video, and it didn't go anywhere. Unlike
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick drops this Grand National album, and it's everywhere,
Yeah.
and people are playing it
Yeah.
all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, he did it. He did it. He did it to himself. Like you lost the battle, that's one thing,
Yeah.
but to
Take your
take this
lumps
step.
and just,
Yeah, take your
kind
lumps
of
and
move
go.
on.
Knocked up. Oh, I'm right. All right. I
Yeah.
got to continue.
Like
Yeah,
you
he
just
made it
take
hard for
that
himself to come
loss.
back.
Like
Yeah,
when did he start first topping up? Like 2000, like 2000, like early 2010s, or was it even before that?
it
So,
might be before then.
do you think it's just part of it is just part of it is just people are exhausted with Drake, and part of it is like, yo, man, just like no one stays on top forever, and I think we're just kind of over it, and we kind of just want to see the next person move, step up, or like, you know,
That could
there's
be part. That could be
yeah,
part of it. That could be
like
part of it. But a lot of people, uh, they, as our incoming president likes to say,
Jesus.
they are saying that
Many
Drake.
people are saying,
Many people are saying
many people are saying,
uh, Drake, Drizzy, uh, he's he's stealing the culture. He's not really
oh
a part
no,
of it.
oh
He
boy.
just wants you to. Yeah, so it's more like that. They're saying that Drake's a bit of a culture vulture, even though he is half black. Um, they're saying they don't feel like he's true to the culture, and that he's
Mm-hmm.
more of like an entertainer that's making I don't say making that's making money off of the culture. I guess
Oh,
if that makes
I
more
see, I see.
sense. But we'll see. We'll see.
Right. Do we think like maybe just the lane for him now is to kind of go into what like older rappers like guys like 50 or like Ja Rule or like who kind of just like play the hits. They go do their tours and they just play the hits. They're not necessarily like in the why in like they're not in the thick of it anymore. They're kind of
Yeah.
just like well, I hate to say coasting, but like it happens with like every musical act, right? Like they had their peak and then they kind of just like transition into like arena tours and they're just like playing the hits from like back in the days. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's just the lane Drake should take, is like you've won for so long and you've got all of these hits. Couldn't you just like, instead of engaging in like all of these things, couldn't you just be like the guy whose music plays at Target, or the one who just like just does his tours all over the world? Like, isn't he doing like a tour like while Kendrick is at the Super Bowl or something? Where
Is he?
like
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't know, like I thought I read something where like he's in Australia right when like Kendrick is during that time, during that Super Bowl
Oh.
time. And it's why engage anymore? Like I think he's won. I think he's won because he's made a lot of money. He's got a lot of fans. I think I saw like a Spotify thing where he's still one of the most like streamed artists in the world.
Yep.
So
Yep.
maybe his numbers were affected, but not. It doesn't seem to be that much if he's still like in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever that list I saw. So
Yep.
he's still got like a solid fan base, but I guess he just wants everybody to like him. Is that what this is? Is it like
Yes, that's a
please
good way.
like me?
He
Please like
wants them
please
all, and he wants
yeah.
everybody. He wants it all, and he wants everybody to like him. Again, not to take away from his talent or anything like that, but he just
Sure,
put
sure.
himself in a bad. He put himself in a. He made his situation even worse. So it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
how he comes out of this and what his next music project's gonna sound like. You have to be fair. To be fair, like the internet forgets pretty quickly.
Oh, sure.
So
Sure. That's the other thing
he
too,
could come
right?
out. He could come out with this, and everybody be fine. But then it's like the internet forgets quickly, but the internet also lives forever. So
Yeah.
it's like a
It's
double-edged
a little bit
sword.
about it's a duality. It's a duality.
Yeah, it's the duality of it. Also, we'll have to see which side of the coin he flips this time.
Yeah, I mean, if he just drops like a hot album like tomorrow, I think most people would just be like over it. Let's move on to everybody's favorite sneaker segment. Oh, it is Sneaker Mount Rushmore plus time. 1800 bars. Go check it out. Anyways.
1800 bars.
Yes. All right. So today we are going to be doing the Air Jordan 11 Mount Rushmore because we just talked about the Air Jordan 11 for most of the show.
We just talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, so again, the rules for Mount Rushmore is one OG. Oh, did Jacques just drop the mic? That's what he did.
My water bottle.
Okay. See, you could have just played along, man. You could have said, "I just dropped the mic."
Played along like it was the mic. Yeah.
Could have just played along, man. Come on, man. Come on.
My bad.
All right, so the rules of Mount Rushmore Plus is one OG, one non-OG, one collab, one player exclusive, and one wild card. But I did look up the Air Jordan 11. Not a lot of collabs, so we're gonna do 2 wild cards.
Not a lot of collabs.
I don't even think there is one. I don't even know if there is a Jordan 11 collab now that I think about it. But I tried to look.
Question.
Yeah, I don't think there is. There might. If there's one, if there's one, congratulations to that one whoever got that collab. But I don't think there's a lot. So today, let's just do one OG, one non-OG, player exclusive, and 2 wild cards. So basically, whatever at the end.
So right, does this include lows?
Yes. Basically, any Jordan 11 you can think of.
Any Jordan 11.
Everything is in play. Everything is in play. So, Jacques, you have the honors because I think I went last week first. Oh, wait, the last time we did it. Yeah.
Okay. I think you have to start this off with the black and red Jordan 11. Like, there's no other. Like, that is.
Red. Yes.
That is essentially the Jordan 11. The playoff. That is essentially the Jordan 11. Like that's the shoe.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the first. Arguably, that's the first thing that comes to mind. But I've got to go with that one. That's the one that got me. So that's the one that like I was most excited about when they first came out. So I got to go with that one.
Same. I would have gone with the playoffs, the breads, whatever you want to call it, for the first pick if I had it. So I'm gonna go with the second one, the Concords.
Yeah.
Like if you went with the breads, I would have. The Concords were actually the one that did it for me. Yeah. No. When I first saw it, I was like, what? Why is it shiny? Why is it like? Why does it glisten? What's going on with that shit? Like what? Like when you first see it, like you first see it as a kid, right? You're like, what? Why is it? I've never seen that on a sneaker before. Why is it so cool? Why do I want a pair? I want that. Dad. He's like, we ain't getting that, son. We ain't got the money for that back then.
Yeah. Give it up, fam. Give it up. Give it up.
But yeah, no, definitely. So for my pick for the OG is going to be the Concords. So next up is the non-OG.
Yeah. The non-OG? What's the red pair? Was that Chris Paul? Was that a Chris Paul's wore those originally? The red pair?
Oh no, was it the Win like 80 whatever? It was like the red and black or something. Was it like red? Was it like mostly all red upper and then like wide midsole?
I think it was a Win like 96 is what it was called, but I think
yeah.
Wasn't it a PE first? Why do I feel like
I think
PE first?
I think Chris's PE had like blue on it. I think it was like red and blue. So you're gonna go with the Win like 96.
Win like 96. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So there was like the other one. It was like Win like 84, and it was like a blue pair or something like that. But that's not my pick. But yeah.
Okay.
So for my non-OG pick, I'm gonna go with the Pantone. The Gift of Flight. I think it's also called like the Gift of Flight, like the Carolina blue one. And I just saw that as I like, that's pretty. Those are just pretty.
A good one.
Like looking at those, I'm like, oh, those are just pretty looking basketball shoes. Like if I ever owned a pair, I just wouldn't wear them. I'd be like, these are too precious to like mess up. There's just something perfect about the baby blue on that patent leather and everything, and I'm like, I still look every once in a while. I'll look at like StockX or like whatever, eBay or whatever, look up a pair, and I'm like, it's getting there. It's getting a little bit more affordable to my like price point.
Getting closer.
I think it is. Like
it's getting closer.
Like, but I actually I couldn't even put myself to wear because I'd be like, oh man, it's too pretty. I don't want to like crease the patent leather. I don't want to mess it up. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'd like to own it, but also I'd also be like that dude who doesn't wear, which would be a first for me. I like to wear everything. So like if I had a pair, I'd be like, should I wear it? I'd just be like happy feet all the time. Be like, I want to wear it, but I also don't want to mess it up. It's one of those situations.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's just so pretty to me. It's like I hesitate to ever say a shoe is pretty, but that's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that.
All right, so next up, what is your player exclusive of the Jordan 11?
I'm going to go with the Chris Paul Jordan 11. Let me look it up, make sure it's the right one I'm talking about. I think it's the Chris Paul
I think
Jordan
it is
11.
the same thing. It's like a red.
Yeah, but it has the blue on the Jumpman. Blue Jumpman logo. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, those are dope.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah. And Chris was definitely one of those dudes who wore his Jordan PEs when he was here in LA, and I'm like, damn.
Yes.
As somebody
who's made it worth him being a Clipper, but it doesn't.
Wow. So at what time is it? It's like 56 minutes. Jacques got in his Clipper slander for the show.
Gotta get it in.
All right. So for my player exclusive, I'm gonna go with the Ray Allens, the Jordan 11, for his ring ceremony. So there's one where
that's a good one.
Yeah. So it's got the gold patent leather and everything. So I'm gonna go with the Miami one. So because he had one for the Celtics and he had one for Miami, but I think I still want to do a podcast with you, so I'm gonna go with the Miami one. Because if I do the Celtics one, I think you might like kick me out. So we're gonna go.
No. I respect that one.
Sure you do.
I do. I respect that one.
Oh man! All right. So next up, you're one of your first of two wild cards.
So I saw these, and I don't know if they were official or not. But Bruce Brown had a pair of chrome Jordan 11s.
I mean, that's your wild card. Oh yes, I think I know what you're talking about. It's like just a bright, shiny, chromed out like Jordan 11. Yeah.
I don't know if those are official or what. Or
I think those are PEs because I think Jeff Green also had a pair of those.
Okay, yeah, those are. Yeah. Oh, I would love. Like that's a wear in the game shoe, and like a on stage shoe. I don't know if I could wear those just around, but. I could see them being like on the stage. Yeah, I could see like performing in those or wearing them on stage or something like that, but not just in general.
Yeah. No, those definitely are like for special occasions kind of pairs. Like you can't. I don't know if you could. I don't think anybody could pull it off like walking down like whatever street. They'd be looking. Everybody be looking at you funny.
You can't go into Walmart with those on. Like you can't go into Walmart with those joints. You can't go to Walmart to pick up eggs and bacon with them joints. That's not the energy.
Well, Shaq might make his own pair of his Shaq shoes, like chromed out pair at Walmart. So
that's true.
Always a possibility.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, so for my first wild card, I'm gonna go with the Jubilee, but a very specific version of the Jubilee, which I think you actually have you to thank for this. So, you know how like the Jubilee pair, like it has like the Jordan, the Jordan on the eyelets.
Yes.
You took it out, and I asked you how you did it. And I took it out too. So I'm like, okay, now it looks great. Because I like the Jubilee pair, but no offense. I think it was like part of the original Tinker Hatfield design was like having those like the letters on the eyelets. I think that was part of the original design. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they didn't look good. Like it's something about it just really kind of turned me off to it. But after I don't know if we got it at the same time, but like I know when you got yours, when you removed yours, I was like, oh, okay. No, so I can do that too. So it's actually pretty doable. But was it like nail polish remover? I think what it was.
Yep. Acetone or nail polish remover. It gets it off. Yep.
Yeah, I remember doing that, and I was like, oh man, now they look great. Now I love these.
It looks so much better to me.
It looks so much better. No offense to Tinker again. Like thank you for designing those, but That's one of those times where it's like, oh, I'm glad that the edit was made to remove those on all regular Jordan 11s, so to take those out. So.
Yeah, it makes it feel so much better.
Yeah. So, and for your second wild card, Jacques.
All right, so this one is going to be a little, not I don't think what people expect, but it's going to be the Air Jordan 11 Velvet, the one for the women's in the navy colorway.
The navy colorway. Okay, I think I know what those look like. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I like those. I like those. It was a women's release, but I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I'm into those. Yeah.
You're like, wait, do they have them in a size? What is it like? What is it for like us who wear size 11? It has to be like a women's 12 or 12 and a half. 12 and a half, right?
So
yeah.
Up a size and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You're like, wait, do they have these in a size 12 and a half?
Right. Yeah.
Totally.
I don't think I would ever buy them to wear them. I just like the way that they look.
No, is it one of those like, okay, they're like, I like to look at them. They look pretty. They're
pretty.
pretty.
I was like, oh, these look cool. Not my shoe, but they look cool.
All right. So for my last pick for the Jordan 11 Rushmore, my wild card, it's going to be the Jordan 11 Golf, no denim allowed. I think those are pretty
that's
cool.
A good one too.
Yeah,
it's kind of in the line with the navy. It's a little bit, they're kind of close.
Yeah. I think I forget what year it was. I think it was like 2019 or 2020 or whatever. It was one of those, it's been a minute. But like Nike Golf released a no denim allowed pack, which was kind of like a joke, because it's like people don't frown upon like denim on the golf course, which I understand.
Yeah.
It's not like denim is actually the most comfortable thing to wear on the golf course anyways,
I don't know why you would wear denim on the golf course anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Somebody did it. Yeah. I was like, that's more on you, bro, than it is anything else. I'm just
go with God. Like you go wear your jeans on the when you're at the driving range or when you actually go play. I have no idea how you're pulling that off. How I don't think they make it that stretchable still. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all you. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I guess you could pull it off with the jorts. Maybe that's
maybe
some
jorts. Maybe some jorts. But even then, you're like, bro, it's hot. You doing all that walking.
I think I have gone on the driving range with some jorts though. Like that's not a big deal. It's just like
the
that's
driving range is different. That's one thing.
Totally.
But if
I've
you're actually
never played in jorts. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And I hate to be like one of those guys like, oh, you can. I mean, you can if you want to. I just know I would never wear jeans.
The function, it's the functionality of it. It's a practical reason. It's not because it's not because of like, oh, it would be stuffy, like, dress code and all that stuff. Nah, it's just because I don't know how you'd be able to like pull off your backswing and like, do everything you need to do with like a stuffy pair of jeans, man. Like it's just not comfortable. Like you get sweaty in that. It's not great. It's not great,
then if you get sweaty in jeans, that's just nasty. Nah, I'm good.
No,
that was the joke.
But the shoes though. But the Jordan 11
is cool though.
Yeah, it is cool. Like I like those. I looked at the resale for them and they're kind of wild. They're like $2,000, and I'm like, whoa,
what?
Yeah, I was surprised. I don't know if that's people. I don't know if that's people just trying to sell them for $2,000 or if that's the actual like going rate for them. But I was like, wait, is it doable? Like, I was like, wait, can I buy a pair of those and like convert them to like regular shoes? Because hey, I'd like to wear them on the golf course, but also I'd be like, I wonder if I could like swap them out or something like that. So, but
that is wild,
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not selling for that. Well, no, I guess
people are trying to sell.
Last price was there's some for $1,200, $1,750, $2,000, $2,500.
Yeah.
600, 500, 1,500, 2,000. Wow.
I know.
Wow. I feel like
did you get a pair
Owen
of those?
Wilson.
Oh no.
I think so. I know I'm Owen Wilson. Wow. Yeah. That's I would have never expected that. But
not at all. Not at all.
All right. I guess sneaking denim on the course is a thing.
Yeah. It's the band Jordans of the golf course.
The band Jordan. Yeah, that's funny.
All right, so that was it for our Jordan 11 Rushmore, and that is it for episode 16 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast. All right, thank you again. Always do the good stuff like, comment, subscribe, leave the 5-star reviews. If you have any questions, you want to be featured in a future mailbag episode, send your email to Too Hard to Pass Podcast. That's the number 2. Too Hard to Pass Podcast at gmail.com. And so again, thank you for listening. I am Juan Martinez and Jacques.
And I am Jacques Slade. You can find me at Cousteau all over the internet. We thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the show. And let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and what you want to hear more of. We appreciate
We want to hear. Right. We want to hear more KU. We want to hear more.
No one says that. No one says that.
We want to.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Little nutsack. Peace. Never forget. Never forget.
Peace. Thank you. Peace. And we out.
We out.